I'm Anna from Astral Hygiene, and today I thought I'd jump on a quick live to talk to you about all of the ins and outs about floor pads. So by floor pads I'm talking about industrial circular pads that many of you will have seen within your kind of professional capacity, which go in high-speed single disc machines or scrubber dryers. So the purpose of today's live is to really kind of educate you on what they can be used for, which colour is for which purpose, the sizes that are available, and all of that sort of ins and outs around floor pads. And one of the reasons that I decided to do this video is because when I first started here at Astral, I was a bit perplexed and a bit kind of at sea as to which floor pad did what. And I was constantly referencing all of the kind of books and having a look on the internet for the kind of information that I was looking for. So I thought I'd kind of amalgamate it all and put it in one place. So it's on our blogs page, so astralhygiene.co.uk, and I'm also going to pop this vlog alongside it, so kind of different kind of medias for different kind of preferences, so that you can kind of either watch it at your leisure or it'll be on YouTube with subtitles for those who are pretending to work. So off we go. So the floor pads that we kind of sell here come in all different sizes. They come in sizes from 11 inches upwards to kind of 24, 25 typically inches. They come in all different colours, so black, brown, blue, green, red and white, standard sort of colours. So during the course of this blog I'm going to talk to you about the kinds of machines that they could work in, how these machines work, and which floor pad is suitable for what purpose and which floor. And then I'll touch on kind of polishes and waxes at the end. So here at Astral Hygiene we sell an awful lot of scrubber dryer machines. So scrubber dryer machine, just for those of you that don't know, is a machine that basically you push along or you drive it along, and it introduces water at the front. The floor pad is on the front with attached to a pad drive. So the pad drive is basically what drives the pad around. Pad drive. So you attach the pad onto the pad drive. Water is then introduced, sometimes with some chemical, if you put chemical in your machine, and then probably low foam is probably the best. So low foam heavy is probably the best for this kind of scenario. It then agitates, the pad touches the floor and it agitates around and takes off the soil, takes off the dirt, takes off all of the kind of unwanted residue that's on your floor, and then the water gets squeegeed down to the back of the machine where it's then sucked up into the waste tank. So scrubber dryer machines are amazing, and I would really advocate them because they save so much time. So the scrubber dryer machines are basically designed for, so one pass of the machine means that your floor is completely and totally clean. Alternatively, so scrubber dryer machines generally run at a rate of 150 RPM, so a kind of a medium fast speed, enough speed to agitate it, agitate the soil off the floor. Alternatively, there are other machines like the Hurricane, which I do reference in my blog, which runs at 2 speeds, so it can run at the 150 RPM for agitating soil or agitating dirt or washing floors with a poly scrub brush. And then you can flick a switch and it then moves up to a 300 RPM where you then are applying polish or high shining. So to create a high shine on a floor, you need that disc machine, the pad, to be moving over the floor at a very high resolution, so that you're then allowing that buffing effect to take place. So the scrubber dryer will scrub and clean your floor, and a single disc machine can introduce water and scrub off what's on the floor, but there's no kind of sucking mechanism there, so then you do have to clean up at the back of yourself. But as a Hurricane single disc machine is a very economical solution to the same sort of problems you'd address with a scrubber dryer. On the other hand, a scrubber dryer cannot really put down polish and run at that sort of rates typically. Sometimes you do get them, but they're more expensive. So that's kind of the machines that these would run in. It is important to make sure that you're getting a good quality floor pad. Good quality floor pads are uniform in depth so that they're touching the floor all around. They wear in a uniform manner so that they're touching the floor all the way around, and when this side becomes worn you can then turn it over and use this side, so you can really get a good kind of duration of use out of a floor pad. So which colours do what? So typically a black floor pad is the most aggressive floor pad. So it's got the most dense and coarse material that make up the floor pad. So you would use a black floor pad to clean stone, you'd use a black floor pad to take off excess layers of polish. So what I see in here typically is on a kind of wood floor, and the cleaning team or the floor care team would just come slap polish on it, mop polish on, and then buff it with a white floor pad to a high shine. And that's fine to a certain point, but the polish does have a kind of a shelf life, and there does come a point where that polish needs to be lifted off, so hence the black or the brown pad. Now if there's been excess layers of polish, you do need to make sure that you're removing the first few layers of polish with the black pad, which will be much more quicker and will be much more effective. You've got to watch what you're doing with the black pad though, because you don't really want a black pad to be making contact with your floor, because it may score your floor or damage your floor, which is why I would advocate finishing off the removal of polish with a brown pad. Brown pads are still aggressive enough to remove the polish, but not aggressive enough to damage your floor. Daydreamers, beware. You need to watch what you're doing here. Then if we downgrade to a green pad, so a green pad is still an aggressive enough pad to be cleaning kind of marks, etc. off your floor, but it also can be good for, and it can strip off a couple of layers of polish or a layer of polish in terms for preparation for reapplication of polish, but it's really good for kind of daily wet scrubbing of unprotected floors like swimming pool floors, changing room floors, fish factory floors, etc. So you can just basically drive this around or push your scrubber dryer around to make sure that your floors are clean, and you can put a sanitizer in there as well where necessary or sanitised. Then we move on to the blue floor pads. So the blue floor pads are great for regular wet maintenance of unprotected floors, and they're also good for putting on a single disc machine to remove kind of soil, heel marks, or kind of ground in dirt, anything that you can't really mop off. So these pads can be used wet or dry. After use, obviously you need to do the aftercare, which is detailed in the blog also. Then we have the red floor pads. The red floor pads are one of the most commonly used ones, and these are the ones that we sell quite a lot of here. So these ones are great for the wet scrubber dryers because they will just, lift all the dirt, a crazy amount of dirt, and then suck it up. And it will also bring the floors up to a soft shine when you're using them dry. So they will kind of allow your floor to develop a luster rather than a high shine. And then we're left with the white floor pad, which is again one that we sell a lot of here, because this one is the one that when the polish is applied, mop your polish on, wait for it to dry, and then you need to obviously follow the instructions on the back of the bottle, but that's obvious. And then you pass your machine over with a white floor pad, and depending on the kind of polish that you're using, a high metallized polish would bring it up to a very, very high shine, as long as you keep going. So in terms of pad aftercare, so after your pad has been used, you need to remove the pad after each use and rinse it under a tap with hot soapy water, or keep the pad in a diluted stripping solution to get the polish off it, to dissolve any kind of caked on finish, and don't let the pads dry before washing them out. Those pads that have been used for polish, for application of polish, can be washed, stripped and used again for buffing and high shining. So as long as you're looking after your pads well enough, they will be able to be used for different kind of purposes: wet, dry, stripping, polishing, etc. So stripping or, you know, cleaning or whatever it may be. So green could be used for stripping it, or it could be used for just buffing it up to a high shine. So rinse it and hang it up for drying. So there's lots of kind of information in our blogs. That was actually quite in depth in terms of floor pad knowledge. It's probably one of the few places that you'll find all of this kind of amalgamated information together, because lots of it's kind of piecemeal, and lots of it I found was kind of assumed that everybody kind of knows this, but it's kind of one of the secrets of the trade. So I'm trying to kind of break down barriers and make sure that everybody kind of knows what they're doing. Any questions, drop us a DM, and please share this video, and thanks so much for watching.